Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Good evening. Hundreds of Tasmanians have joined a nationwide protest demanding an end to gendered violence. The rally sparked by a spur in women's deaths, including the 5 killed in the Bondi Junction rampage.
Making a statement at Hobart's Parliament lawns, hundreds calling on governments across Australia to declare gender-based violence as a national emergency.
We demand justice. We demand equality and safety for all women, regardless of race or background.
Tasmanians among thousands taking part in nationwide rallies this weekend.
Despite our best efforts, we continue to witness the devastating toll of this epidemic, and that's what it is. It's an epidemic.
Anger sparked in the wake of the Bondi Junction stabbings and a surge in alleged incidents of male violence against women across the country.
It's woven into the fabric of our communities, this issue, and we have had enough.
I'll say it again, in 4 short months, 18 weeks, 32 women have lost their lives to men's violence in Australia alone.
Advocates want more to be done across all levels of government to step up and take action, hoping for meaningful change through national action plans and policy reforms.
I would like to see the Premier, Jeremy Rockliff, actually take a stand, show up, turn up and protect women.
Improved access to justice, enhanced support services and harsher penalties for perpetrators among a list of demands. Rallies also getting underway in Adelaide and Sydney today.
The Prime Minister must declare a national emergency to help put an end to this epidemic of the murder of women.
Rebecca Gay-Neris, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian farmers battling the effects of extreme drought now have until the end of June to access relief funds. Announcing the time extension, Primary Industries Minister Jane Howlett said $1.5 million had already been granted so far, showing the dire need.
Round bale of hay is $150 per bale, and that's, if you can find it. So as the cold weather comes along, it's going to get very expensive.
Well, there's isolation, there's fatigue and there's a weariness at the moment, and it's across the board.
Mainland Tasmanians can access payments of $5,000 and $2,000, with those on Bass Strait Islands eligible for $20,000. Environmental protesters have stormed a major Hobart food festival overnight with fiery flares. The Bob Brown Foundation is calling for an end to post-logging forestry burns, saying it's filling Tasmania's air with toxic fumes and destroys the native environment. The group also launching its Forest Watch website designed to track logging and burning practices through satellite surveillance. $500,000 government grant will make a dream community hub in Sorell a reality. The men's shed will be able to upgrade its facilities and welcome more members in need of mateship.
Furniture and friendships are built at the Sorell men's shed. All skill levels are welcome.
Look, I come here, I'm only a bush carpenter, but I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from the many talented people here.
Those who've stepped inside and picked up a tool can speak to the community building credentials of a men's shed.
I've been involved with men's sheds right over Australia for the last 3 or 4 years, and what a great contribution they do to the society.
But the facilities here at Sorell, well, they just don't cut it anymore.
The last 6 years we've really wanted to be able to create a better building for our community and our members.
A $550,000 government grant will fund a new home. It'll also house the Sorell Lions Club, allowing them to continue fundraising efforts.
It's a place where men can come together. They can share their craftsmanship, have conversations and also supply products to their local community.
This commitment is outside of 3 recent election commitments for men's sheds, including a $1 million capital investment program to fund upgrades.
The men's shed now has 80 members here, and they also have many women starting to join as well. So it's a vital part of the community, and you can see from some of the things around here today what they're building, the craft, the skills that are needed.
This comes with just a week until the upper house election for Prosser. Asked if there was a link between the timing of this announcement and that vote, the government didn't directly respond. A spokesperson said the Sorell Council project had bipartisan backing. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
A distillery in Tasmania is making a traditional Chinese spirit and is preparing to export its product into Asia. It's the brainchild of a local man who's also hoping the drink will gain popularity around Australia.
It's a Chinese liquor that packs a punch. Baijiu is fermented to create a distinctive flavour and usually consists of around 60% alcohol content.
Baijiu throughout China's bottled between sort of 40 to 60% or high 60%. Our style in particular is always bottled at 53%, so it's quite a punchy drink.
At the Sanyu distillery, based at St Leonard's, Ian Sipkus, together with 2 mates, has mastered the process. A civil engineer, Ian fell in love with the art of making the traditional Chinese spirit after a visit to China. He was determined to produce the spirit himself in a unique Australian way, using red sorghum from interstate.
We sort of form it up as following traditional methods but using Australian grains, and that's what really sort of excites us about it, is it's a very unique manufacturing process.
The key is fermentation, with the mix of grain and chew soaked, steamed and left to sit for 45 days before being transferred into clay pots where it stays for 3 years. The next step for the Tasmanian distillery is to take on the Chinese at their own game by exporting Baijiu into Asia.
We're working with Trade Tasmania to try and build up the avenues, and it would appear for us that our first goal is to land somewhere like Singapore and Hong Kong.
The spirit is already gaining some momentum in Tasmania, with the Barrel Collective in Launceston stocking the local Baijiu on its shelves.
We've seen recently a lot of Chinese here on holidays when they're viewing the state come in and actually ask for it.
It's hoped that in time, Baijiu will tempt the taste buds of a more diverse market. Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
North Launceston has shown it's the team to beat in the TSL this year with a big win over Clarence at UTAS Stadium. An inaccurate day in front of goal for the Bombers kept the Roos in it for long stretches though.
Let's see how they go.
A top-of-the-table TSL clash at UTAS Stadium. North Launceston drew first blood.
Kicks towards goal, Sam Simpson.
Clarence would level the scores, but the Bombers' forward pressure was immense, punishing the Roos on turnovers.
Advantage now, Van Dam from 45, Oscar Van Dam kicks the goal.
Inaccuracy limiting the damage, as the Bombers led by 26 at quarter time. Brandon Leary shrugged off a tackle.
Leary somehow gets free and kicks a goal.
As Bryce Alomes put the Roos on his back.
He's kicked 3 now for Clarence.
North Launceston couldn't open up the margin in a tight third quarter. Clarence kicking things off in the last.
Keegan Wiley for goal. That's a big team lifter for Clarence.
Setting up a threatening final term as the Bombers' poor goal kicking continued, before finally putting the game out of reach.
Banana kicks the goal as Harvey Griffiths.
The Bombers winners by 46. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Jack Jumpers Clint Steindl has helped the Chargers to a win in his debut, fresh off his signing with the Hobart Chargers NBL1 team. Steindl scoring 11 points with 4 rebounds, 3 assists and 2 steals, but it was the dunk that stole the show.
Oh! Throws that one down from downtown.
The Chargers beating the Cavaliers 88 points to 79, while it was a narrow 2-point loss for the Lady Chargers.
That'll be too much time on the clock. That will not count. The Casey Cavaliers come to Tassie and get their first win of the season.
Both teams playing against the Ballarat Miners at Pembroke Park tonight. Meanwhile, WNBL star Keely Froling has returned to the Launceston Tornadoes, helping her side to their first win of the season against Ballarat. Froling scoring 31 points with 11 rebounds and 2 assists, including 2 from beyond the arc.
Keely Froling for 3. Big bucket there from Froling on the left-hand side of the...
While the Northwest Thunder got away with a narrow 3-point win, sealed by a thrilling finish.
Cody, blocked there by Willie!
Tonight, the Tawns and Thunders take on KC Cavaliers at the Elfin Sports Centre.
Good evening. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday, particularly those who've had their third day off in a row now. Hobart, Friendly Beaches, St Helens, Bushy Park and Ooze, all with our top today of 19. Launceston 18, Devonport and Burnie 17 degrees. A fairly cold start too today, a low overnight. Lyawini -3 was the lowest. It did warm up to 17 there, as did Low Head, Grove and Flinders Island. King Island 16, Strawn a high of 15 degrees. Some low-level cloud on the scene over the west, far south and northeast of Tasmania. Only a few light showers over the west and southwest today. A bit of that cloud also affecting southern Victoria, some higher cloud evident through Western and South Australia and more over the New South Wales and Queensland coasts. Tomorrow the high slides further over the Tasman Sea, another moving in from the west as a cold front positions near the southern coast of WA. Winds generally from the northwest and with a bit of oomph as well, up to 25 knots over the north, 30 knots in the east and to 35 knots over the west and south with a 3 metre swell. So we have a gale warning that's been issued for waters from Southeast Cape to Low Rocky Point, a strong wind warning from St Helens Point to Southeast Cape and from Low Rocky Point to Stanley. Sunday, Hobart, partly cloudy and 20, up to 21 degrees for Richmond and Ooze. Nice and fine, a cool start though. 19 for Launceston and cloudy, Devonport 18, 16 the top for Deloraine, fine but cloudy. Cloudy for Burnie as well, 17 the top, a shower for Strawn, 18 the maximum, 19 for King Island, Curry 11 overnight, 19 for St Helens tomorrow, partly cloudy for Swansea and Whitemark, 19 as well. On Monday, a few showers scattered over the state, more likely over the west and south, snow on the peaks in the evening. To Tuesday, fine and partly cloudy apart from a shower over the southwest, and on Wednesday, patchy morning frost, followed by a fine cool day with light winds. Sunny and mid-20s for Perth and Adelaide tomorrow, partly cloudy weather for Melbourne, a sunny 25 in Sydney, 25 as well for Brisbane, but a shower or two there. Darwin enjoying the dry season with a beautiful 35 tomorrow. Just 12 in Hobart at the moment and partly cloudy, 12 and clear in Launceston, cloudy in Devonport and 13. Great to see you too, Louise. First chance I've had to welcome you back from your maternity leave. So what have we got? What, another 6 months before your next big announcement?
Oh, maybe give me 7 months. Thanks for that, Merv. And that's all your news for this Saturday. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.